Good morning. Happy Coffee Talk Monday. Dr. Michelle coming at you. How is it going? Still a lot of things going on in the world. And what I'm finding is, along with those things, an increase in anxiety and fear, which are kind of one and the same. Yeah, it's creating a lot of chaos and a lot of discomfort. So today, what I wanted to talk about is catastrophe theory. I don't usually talk about theories or big words, but I thought today was a perfect time because anxiety keeps going up and up and up and up and up for people. Yes. As performance goes up and as our physiological response gets bigger and bigger, then our cognitive worries, doubts, and fears get bigger and bigger. Yeah, all of this grows and gets bigger and gets harder to deal with. And sometimes that's on a daily basis. And sometimes that's over a period of time. So catastrophe theory is not just about performers or athletes. It's really a theory, generalized theory that can be used for anxiety. But let me talk about it in terms of athletic performance, because it seems like most people can relate to that. So you start off a game, a meet, a tournament. Performance starts and you have a little bit of physiological response to that. Maybe a little bit of butterflies, increased heart rate, breathing goes up. And in the initial stages, normal. Might not feel exactly normal, but normal, right? Your body's way of telling you something big and something important is about to happen, so get ready. Then as performance continues and those physiological responses continue, that starts to kick in the worries, the doubts, and the fears. So you have the stress and pressure of performance, this increase in physiology, and then your head with the worries and the doubts and the fears keeps going up and up and up and up and up until, for a lot of people, you get to a place where you just sort of falter and fall apart a little bit because mentally you don't have a way to cope with that. So it just keeps increasing because it's like, I don't know what to do with that or about that. And I've seen that many, many times with my performers. And I've also seen it many, many times just in daily life with my clients. So you start off down here, right? Low performance, low physiological response, really hardly any worries, doubts, or fears necessarily. Have a little bit, right? And there's sort of this period of time where you're sort of getting yourself pumped up and ready for performance. But then as that continues to go up, you hit a plateau, which is considered the zone. And a lot of people can't stay in that zone. And the responses, the physiological and the cognitive responses, soar past that and over the top. And again, performance dramatically drops off, regardless of what that performance is. Totally kind of makes sense to me, partly because I've seen it a lot of times, right? Going along, okay, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of fears, a little bit of doubts, going up here, and then you're up and over the top and down the other side. Yeah, it's kind of a real thing. And what's important is understanding that and being able to get a grasp on that, right? When you feel the butterflies, when you feel the heat, when you feel the rapid heart rate, you know, what is that trigger for you? And if it triggers not such great things, what do you do about that? When you notice the worries, the doubts, and the fears, what do you do about that? Because 99% of the time, they're not just going to go away. They're going to grow. They're going to get worse. To the point where you feel so out of control that you might keep going, but you're not going to keep going very effectively, and you're for sure not going to perform the way you want to perform. So we call that a catastrophe in catastrophe theory. Most people cannot recover from a catastrophe. Some can, but very few people. Very few people. So it's about catching it before it gets to that place of catastrophe where things feel too big and too huge. I have a client right now who has really been struggling with the change in school and the change in sports, lack of structure, fear of unknown. And over time, she's gotten to the place where things have gotten catastrophic. So again, last year, end of school, novelty, being at home, online school, but that's got scarier and scarier and harder. No sports, no competition. So harder and harder to this year, where sitting in front of a computer all day long, not knowing when your sport is going to kick in again, has created this really difficult, challenging space for her. Anxious, fearful, all kinds of things. So again, catastrophe theory could be in a performance event, or it can gradually creep up over time. So I hope this made sense. And if you'd like to talk more about catastrophe theory, anxiety, how to deal with it, shoot me a message and let me know. And if you have any thoughts about what I think is a very interesting theory, leave me a message below. Okay. Have a great week. I'll see you next Monday.